So with the NBA All-Star Draft already have happened, I wanted to give my personal take on who the biggest snubs were from the All-Star voting and really who just deserved it or not. And yeah, I know that I'm already super late on this video since basically every other NBA YouTuber has already done one of these, but hey, it's my freaking channel, go make your own. But yeah, before I get into that, you already know the drill, just go ahead and hit that like button as it greatly helps my videos and it helps YouTube's algorithm to put out my videos a lot more frequently. Also, don't forget to turn on your post notifications to never miss out on my uploads, and leave your takes down below as I try to respond to each and every comment. But with that being said, let's just get straight into the video. So I'm going to split this up into two sections, the West and the East. Now the starters for the West are Stephen Curry, Ja Morant, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic. So I think everybody can agree with me on the backcourt being perfect. Ja Morant has been going crazy this year. He's been a top 3 point guard this season. He's also been a top 10 player in the league, which is my opinion, and is an MVP candidate. And for more about Ja, y'all can go check out my latest video about him and the Grizzlies. Yeah, I know, shameless plug. And his other backcourt mate, Mr. Wardell Curry himself, is yes, still indeed deserving of being an all-star starter, even with him being in the worst slump of his career. Also, there is no debating the center spot with Jokic, as he's arguably the best player in the league today, so that's a wash. But it's the two forward spots where it gets real interesting, as there's one name that just doesn't seem as it should be there, and I'm obviously talking about Andrew Wiggins. Alright, with the trolling aside, the selection of Andrew Wiggins was the most controversial pick of all the selections, and for a reason, because he shouldn't have started. And before y'all Warriors fans attack me, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to be an all-star altogether, because he's still having a great season, and I'd say borderline all-star caliber season. He's averaging 18 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists on 48, 42, 67 splits, while also being one of the better two-way players in the league. So yeah, he's playing near an all-star level, just not on a starting caliber one. I mean, I would take a guy like Brandon Ingram over him, as they're currently in the playoff picture, and he's putting up way better numbers also. But let's keep it real. The only reason he did make it was because of all the injuries to major star forwards like Kawhi and PG. And let's also keep it about Draymond would be over him if he was healthy, as Wiggins isn't even the second or third best player on this team. And to be honest with you, Wiggins has just really took opportunity of the gravity of Curry and Clay, and he's really just benefited off of having other great players around him. But y'all get the point. Enough of crapping on Wiggins. But moving on to the reserves, which consists of Devin Booker, CP3, Cat, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Luka Doncic, and making his debut in the All-Star game, DeJounte Murray. So I think mostly everyone can agree with the reserves, as the backcourt mates of the Suns are a no-brainer. Luka is Luka, and even the Jazz, struggling, their two best players still deserve the spot. The real question is with Murray, and to be honest, it probably should have went to someone like a BI or SGA, or my personal favorite, Anthony Edwards. Both Edwards and BI have a better record than Murray, and they've just been flat out better, as they've posted better numbers, so one of those two would have sufficed. And also, they're both ahead of them in the in the standings. And real quickly before I move on to the East roster, some other notable snubs are Anthony Davis, Mikal Bridges, and it's probably a stretch, but Jaren Jackson Jr., who has been vital to that Grizzlies team. But now moving on to the East starters, which are, my boy Ice Trey, DeMar DeRozan, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. So the front court doesn't need any explanations, because that's just self-explanatory, with Giannis and Embiid both being MVP candidates, 2 top 5 players. That's enough. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, but Tatum is starting due to KD being out, which isn't something I'm really freaking out about. The real controversy is surrounding the guard spot, and mainly if Trey should have started or not. And let's just put this to bed, he should have been a starter and is a starter 100%. A lot of fans are arguing that Zach LaVine should take his place, and I do at least understand why they would say that. He's arguably the best player on a Bulls team that has one of the best records in the league, so I get that. But he just hasn't been anywhere near as good as Trey has been this entire season, as Trey is a top 10 player in the league and is in conversations of being arguably the best point guard in the league and just best offensive player in basketball. And yes, many people will bring up their record, but the Hawks were with maybe the worst COVID situation in the entire league, and add on top of that, key rotation players were missing due to injury, and the chemistry was also just gobbled up due to everyone missing time. Trey has been backpacking this Hawks team all year, and since they're now fully healthy, they've been going on a run and are only a few games back from being out of the play-in tournament. So yeah, Trey is a starter, but fans shouldn't be mad at Trey. They should be mad at who the NBA classifies as a guard or forward, as DeMar DeRozan at this point in his career is a small forward. Most of his minutes are logged in at the 3, as Zach and Lonzo share the backcourt, and even in San Antonio, DeMar mainly played the 3, and sometimes a small ball 4. So yeah, blame the league, because if DeMar was a 3, then he would replace KD, and Zach could have been starting with Trey in the backcourt. But moving on to the reserves, they consist of James Harden, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Jimmy Butler, and multiple debuts consisting of Darius Garland, LaMelo, and Fred VanVleet. And I'm going to be honest, but the reserves really don't have anyone that doesn't not belong here. But the only one I would say on there that I would maybe replace would be Chris Middleton, as his numbers on paper look good, but it's his other star teammate, Jrue Holiday, who should have deserved, as his numbers and impact are just better. At least that's my opinion. But then again, they're relatively close. And other notable snubs are Miles Bridges, Domantas Sabonis before he got traded, and probably the biggest one of all, Jaylen Brown. He probably could have snuck in and replaced one of the new guards like LaMelo or VanVleet, but I think their team success and impact have been super huge for their team, so I'm not super angry about that. But that's the video. Y'all let me know who y'all should have thought made it and if I got the list right. But also, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment your takes down below, and with all that being said, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.